Okay, y'all. So, boom, this is us leaving New Orleans, headed to Miami. And just like the takeoff itself is so beautiful. Like, they don't even look like the same New Orleans. They got all the crime and the nasty Bourbon Street and all that kind of stuff. And that's that long bridge that everybody got to drive on when they try to get to New Orleans. But yeah, so landing in Miami, we went through the hurricane. It was definitely dark and rainy, and you had to get on a train to because the airport is so big, so you had to get on a train to go from here to here. But overall, the next day it was very, very pretty. We ended up stopping at this place called Tap 42 our first night and grabbing some food, and then we hit the streets. That's where the Miami Heat play. And then we found like this art festival where it's like a selfie museum where you go in and they have these different backdrops for you to take selfies with. And just the art itself was just so beautiful to look at. I'm not sure if they're painted by local people from, the city, or if it's from people all over. But yeah, that was one of the pictures that I took in front of the murals. And then we stumbled up on a food tent thing where they had so many different options of food. So going around, this is just, it's corn. It's corn. It's the best thing ever. It's corn. But yeah, so we just went through all they had live music playing, they had food, drinks. So we just walked around the first go around. It was like a little square, and we walked around to see what kind of food they had versus us just buying the first thing that we saw. And they had tables and chairs and little tents and stuff for you to sit down and eat. I loved it because I think it was like 12 to 7. We got there right at like 1 o'clock. And some of the places were giving out samples. But yeah, it wasn't packed at all. The weather did look a little gloomy. It did end up raining later on that day. But while we were there, it was pretty fine. It was nice and cool. The wind was blowing. And everything we had was pretty good. So walking back to our vehicle because we had sat there enjoying the music and the festivities and stuff for about an hour, we found this car and guitar shop. So when you first walk in, they had like a little car show. So we sat and looked at the cars. They did have like live people in there playing the guitar. It was a cafe too, so it smelled like coffee. And it was such a nice vibe in there. Like, and it was this little boy. I don't think I recorded him. Look at her car phone. Do y'all remember car phones? And I do got a question about car phones. So like, was that connected to your landline? Like, since Wi-Fi and Bluetooth wasn't invented back then, how did the cars actually phone? Like, do I have to call you, like dial 9 before I call? Like, somebody explain to me how car phones work. But anyway, so back to the little boy playing the guitar. He was in there rocking, like he was rocking up in there. But so then we ended up finding a Ferris wheel. The days got all discombobulated. I can't tell you which day was what. We were there for about a week. So yeah, we found a Ferris wheel. We ended up going up. This is one of Bae's fears because he's scared of heights. And then we found another art museum. All of this stuff was made out of crystals. So the sales lady says. But yeah, so she let us go in and we took pictures of everything, and everything was just like, in my mind, when I get a house, this is what it's gonna look like. Honestly, y'all, we are some big kids at heart. So we found this place called Round One, where you had a rolling rink, a motorcycle thing, which is that, a batting cage, bowling. What else did they have? Softball. I said batting cage. Basketball. That's what I'm trying to say. And I know softball is my jewel, so I felt right at home with it. Now, they did have different speeds for the softball. So you had 40, 50, 60, and 70. I felt more comfortable between the 60 and the 50. Cause that 40 band, that ball was just hitting way too low. And your girl, I did this, you know what I'm saying? Like, your girl did this. Like, I know how to hit a ball. It was twipping, twipping. So then we found a basketball court, and I told him, I was like, bruh, play me for your heart. I'm gonna play for your heart. And then what Sanaa later said to Omar, I'm gonna play for your heart. And at that, y'all see the swoosh, like, yeah, I was playing for his heart, you know what I'm saying? But then he turned that flash on and threw my groove off. Like, I missed a little bit. But, you know what I'm saying? And y'all, what's so funny was that's all he talked about was, oh, I'm gonna play basketball. I'm gonna play basketball. I'm gonna play basketball. This man ain't make nan shot. Like, bro, like, you embarrassing me. Like, what you mean? You brought me all the way over here and I made more shots than you. But see, that's what happened. You know, like, that's what happened when you go to Provine. And that's what I told him, because he went to Provine High School. I went to Forest Hill. And so clearly y'all can see which one was the better school, because he's not making none of them. And it shows. So then one day we ended up going to the beach, but nobody could get in the water because look how high that tide is. Like, yeah, we could not get in the water. It was way too crazy. And then we stumbled upon a drag show. I'ma just leave it at that, because y'all, Devontae was not comfortable at all. Not saying he has a problem, you know, with drag people, but that's just not his judge. Like, he just went into it, you know what I'm saying? But we sat and watched for a second. Got some free drinks. Cause while we were at the Hard Rock, the manager asked where we were from, and we told him Mississippi, and he was from Tennessee. So we kind of had like a little southern thing going on. So he ended up buying us a drink for our anniversary. Yeah, and that was just a beautiful view from where we were eating at. And now we are leaving Miami and headed back to New Orleans. And just once again, like, the scenery was just so beautiful.